Hello everyone and welcome back to more Football Manager 2019 with me, Mr. Grand 2, and episode 59 of Monaco. And in the last episode, make sure you check it out if you haven't seen it already, but we did win the Coupe de la Ligue final. We beat Saint Etienne 2-0 on that occasion. Goals from both of our centre-backs, Lisandro Martinez and Matthias de Ligt, getting us over the line. And then, even more astounding, a 4-0 win against Tottenham Hotspur in the Champions League quarter-final. Skov, 2 from Schick and 1 from Lozano, giving us a massive lead going into the second leg. No away goals conceded either. Very, very nice to see. Now, I did say we might play our Coupe de France quarter-final against Lille in this episode, as well as the second leg against Tottenham and potential title decider against PSG in the league, but I decided instead to play it in between episodes because we've got a lot to get through, and well, it was probably for the best because it was a pretty dull affair. Few chances for both teams. We needed extra time to see them off, and it was Valmir who got us over the line with a fantastic long-range strike. He's had a real breakthrough into the first team since the turn of the year. But first of all then, the second leg against Tottenham Hotspur. Realistically, you'd think we're probably going to have enough of a margin to see them off pretty easily, although saying that, Tottenham and Liverpool, of course, showed us in the last year's Champions League final in real life that doesn't matter how big your lead is, you can still throw it away. So we find ourselves now down in third, albeit with 2 games in hand ahead of PSG and 4 games in hand ahead of Lyon, but currently 11 points behind PSG. Even if we do win both of those games in hand, we will still be 5 points behind PSG, which means even if we do beat them today, we'd still be behind them. They have got the advantage. Realistically, if we lose to them today, that is pretty much our title defence over, barring an absolute piece of choking from the Parisians. If that does happen, it means we will focus principally on the Champions League and the Coupe de France. So that does mean we are at full strength for this match against Spurs. Can't afford to give them any chance of getting back into this. It's going to be Lafont in goal. The traditional back four, Mendy, Martinez, de Ligt and Sidibe. They know each other by now. They've been together for the bulk of 4 years. Lozano is going to come in the left-hand side, though, because I think actually, we discussed this last time out, Balde's not been particularly great recently. Lozano's taken his chance when he's had it, so I'm going to start him today. Skov on the right-hand side, of course, with Kessie and Tielemans in the middle. Our supporting Patrick Schick up front. So we cannot allow any complacency whatsoever. Lucas Moura is not playing for Spurs, which is obviously good news. So we can't possibly have a performance from him anyway, like he did against Ajax in real life. Injury early on for them. Danilo Pereira's gone down and Oliver Skip's come on. On the subject of Dutch teams doing well in the Champions League, actually, I forgot to mention, we'll have a look at it afterwards, but PSV, as there's a corner for Tottenham, a chance for them early on, which Dele Alli puts away. Not a good sign. Is this going to be one of those days where we throw it away? Hopefully not. Still got plenty of an advantage. They still would need 3 to force extra time. Just 70 minutes to go through. But anyway, Dutch teams, PSV are through to the semi-finals of the Champions League this year. They've knocked out Barcelona, which is a pretty fantastic result. Man City also through. Lloris playing it out. And, Tottenham coming forward ominously. We've offered nothing, but Lozano's won it. Can we get ourselves on the score sheet? An away goal for us surely would kill this one off. Frank Kessie into Skov. Awar flicks it around. Lloris can only parry it, and Schick puts it away, but I think he's probably going to be offside. Was he offside? He was offside, wasn't he? But see, he's onside there. Oh, that is tight. That is very, very tight. Very, very unfortunate. That would have pretty much sealed it. So half-time, 1-0 to Tottenham. 45 minutes to get through. As it stands, we've got a pretty good advantage still. 3 goals needed for them to force extra time. 4 goals needed to force a win for them. So we're looking good. Skov with the corner in, and Matthias de Ligt rises highest to get us the equaliser and that all-important away goal. 5-1 on aggregate. Time's ticked away. We've only got 15 minutes left, and that surely is absolutely that. We're going to be into the Champions League semi-final. Just 7 minutes left. This is completely done. We can afford to rest people. Pretty uneventful game, really, apart from those 2 goals. Tielemans not looking particularly fresh, so he can come off for Henriks. Takes Sidibe off as well, and obviously the main man cannot afford to risk him at all. Well, the other game's very, very tight. Milan are 2-0 up. I think they might have overturned it and be going through against Benfica. Not sure how that one's going to go. But one thing is for sure, we are definitely going to be there. Hopefully we avoid Man City. I mean, maybe I shouldn't underestimate PSV, but PSV would be a lovely semi-final opponent, I think. Few seconds left on the clock, just playing some lovely keep ball. Spurs nearly got back in it. Well, they got a goal, not really nearly back in it, but never really in much doubt. We're safely through, and we are going to be in the Champions League semi-final for just the second time in the save, second time in 5 years. Last time we got this far, we got to the final, and we lost to Tottenham. Well, that can't possibly happen again. And indeed, those 2 goals absolutely vital, sending AC Milan through ahead of Benfica on the away goals rule. PSV would probably be the best choice, although they did beat Barcelona, so they're not pushovers. AC Milan would probably be all right. Let's see, Milan out first, and they get PSV, because of course they do. We will play Manchester City, and we will need to beat the favourites if we're going to get to the Champions League final. Why couldn't we? Why couldn't we have got one of the other 2 teams? Then there was always a chance City could go out. But I suppose that it was likely City would get through anyway, and so it's probably best that we play them now, and then we'll at least maybe be the favourites for the final, maybe. So our semi-final games against Man City have been scheduled for, well, these 2 dates. Why have we still got so many league games? This is horrendous. Look how many league games we're going to have to play after the semi-final if we get through. We've got the cup semi-final as well. Goodness me, that's insane. That is absolutely horrendous. Well, a lot of squad rotation is going to be happening, that is for sure. And I'm, as said, fully prepared to sack off any potential league title to win this Champions League semi-final and then hopefully the final. We're not going to win the league anyway, so we might as well. But we will absolutely categorically not be winning the league for the 5th year in a row if we don't beat PSG. I mean, not mathematically, there's so many games left, but realistically, I don't see PSG losing more than maybe 2 matches left. So unless we get a win today, it's pretty much done. They're at full strength. That obviously bodes well. We've not beaten them. We haven't beaten them since this time last year where we did win 2-0. It was a very, very good performance. But since then, we lost in the Coupe de France final. We lost in the Trophy de Champions. We lost to them in the league earlier on, which is what really cost us the title this year. I think if we do indeed end up losing it, we did overcome them in the Coupe de la Ligue semi-final, but it was only on penalties after a 0-0 draw. So not a win in normal time against them for a year at this point. Well, we're starting off positively. Still the first highlight. Working it nicely, looking for an opening. And the break is on here. If and indeed they do counter. Diego Jota completely running through our defence, but Lafont at least is able to parry it away. Mbappe running forwards at pace. Finds Diego Jota. He's been fantastic for PSG this season. Lafont with another fine save. Another corner for PSG. And I think they're definitely going to score from this one, aren't they? That was inevitable, really. Diego Jota with his 15th goal of the season. And, well, too easy for them. And it looks like we are going to struggle to get a win against them in normal time anytime soon. Eventually, once you spend over £1 billion in a 5-year period, you're going to find a winning combination. But there we go. Skov on the ball. It's not over yet. There's plenty of time left. Whips one in for Lozano. Fortunately, he's just too short to put that one in. Well, possible final chance for us just before half-time. Aouar has been completely out-muscled there by about 3 or 4 different players, and it could be 2. It is 2. Kylian Mbappe, all too easy for PSG. We're just letting them walk through our defence. And, well, hopefully we don't have the same problem against Man City. That would be pretty bad. I don't see why we can destroy Tottenham and then, end up playing so poorly against a team that we've had the advantage over for 4 years now. Well, absolutely not good enough. I don't want to surrender the league title in such a limp fashion. Given how big our margin we had against PSG last year, we could end up in a situation where we have a similar situation in reverse. I don't want that at all. So DB's been given the runaround by Mbappe. We'll put Henriks on. He's a little bit physically quicker. Schick's got a little bit of an injury as well, so we might need to bring on Pellegrini shortly. So many other players not really having much of an impact. Lozano's not really doing anything. And the second half rapidly disappearing, nothing being offered. We're going to have to go attacking to at least make something of a fight of this. And we'll take off Schick, we'll take off Irving Lozano. Maybe not the best idea to start him. Balde, hopefully he can come on and do the business. Pellegrini can come on as well. PSG want to sign Pellegrini, so maybe he can go out there and show him what he's all about. First highlight of the second half, and it seems to be going our way. Hopefully not a wasted opportunity. It is a wasted opportunity, and time is rapidly disappearing. We might as well just go a bit quicker, a bit more direct as well. It's not going to make any difference, is it? I don't think. It's not going to make any difference. 5 minutes on the clock plus added time, however much of that there's going to be. And once again, our run against PSG of very poor results and performances continues. Skov dancing through, but just straight into Lopez's hands. That's not going to cut it. Not at this late stage. I would say too little, too late, but it didn't even result in anything. It's going to result in a PSG third, if anything. And there we go, Federico Chiesa. And we've been playing so well recently in all competitions. Our wins against Tottenham, especially that first leg, was a fantastic performance. That was the best performance we've had of the season. And well, it's kind of affecting our domestic form. I think that's pretty fair to say. Although PSG have really come on and really completely taken several steps ahead of us over this past 12 months. And well, 2 league defeats to PSG in one season for the first time ever. Not to mention recent cup defeats to them as well. That was absolutely disgraceful. Offered nothing. Not a single player doing anything of note in the whole game. Not like us at all. Any chance of winning 5 league titles in a row. Completely and utterly gone. But the other reason we did make that investment, of course, was to hopefully do well in the Champions League, and we are through to the semi-final. We will unfortunately have to play Manchester City, and hopefully we have a considerably better performance than that. I mean, if that was at the Parc des Princes, I wouldn't mind so much. But at home, losing 3-0 at home, that is absolutely unacceptable. Alban Lafont with the lowest rating. But there we go then. That is going to be the end of the episode there. Next time we will play Manchester City in that first leg. We'll skip over the Toulouse game and we'll play the semi-final of the Coupe de France against Lorient as well. As said, realistically, the league is looking completely and totally done and not in our favour for the first time in the whole save. But we've still got potential silverware in the Coupe de France and hopefully, above anything else, that Champions League semi-final and hopefully final as well. Thank you very much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you do not miss the next episode, and I will see you next time.